morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69 and welcome back to the channel. Today we have quite possibly the worst tank in the game. Now, I've said this with a few different tanks, but oh god, this is bad. It is the Panzer II-J. Now, this tank absolutely sucks. It really does suck. And first off, I do have to apologise. You might hear some noise in the background as I'm doing this at home, and we do have Kieran with us sitting next to me. So he might shout, he might start playing with toys, or he might remain silent. So the Panzer II-J, it's bad. Having playing it again, it used to be a fun tank. It really did used to be a fun tank. No one could penetrate it. You used to just play it in a platoon, double Panzer II-Js, go to spawn, go to cap, and start capping, and no one could penetrate you. But now it is just awful. It really is the worst tank in the game. Now, the DPM is okay. Actually, it's pretty good, and we're going to compare it to the Panzer III because this tank, you're going to see in a couple of replays, you struggle to penetrate. Now, the penetration on this AP is 23. Yes, you heard that right. It's 23. The premium is 46. Now, that's still worse than the standard round of the Panzer III. 46 on your premium ammunition. Now, we're going to keep on the premium ammunition because you're not going to fire any AP. You're not going to pen absolutely anything. I mean, let's have a look at Tier 2. I mean, Tier 2, we're going to have a look at one of the weakest tanks in Tier 2, if I can find it. This will do. The Light Vic will do. Now, look at this. The Light Vic armor. The Light Vic armor is 14. So you can penetrate the Light Vic. I probably got that a little bit wrong, but there is tanks that you even in Tier 2, you just can't penetrate at all. Here we go. BT2. BT2, you struggle to penetrate, believe it or not. Look at that. Armor 35. 35 on the turret, 30 on the hull. Your penetration is 46. So on the AP, you can't even pen a BT2. You can't pen a BT2. It's insane. So I think this shell holds like 400 rounds, and you have to literally use all your APCR. I wouldn't even load any AP. That's pointless. It is absolutely pointless. Always load your APCR. But of course, you load the APCR, your alpha goes from 12 per shot, it is an autoloader, to 7. So your DPM drops by 300, which then makes it really, really poor. So the rate of fire, you have 73.18. So yes, it's good rate of fire. You have 8 shells, and it's like a 1.1 second or whatever or 2 seconds in between each shell. So it has a 20 caliber gun. The shell velocity is pretty good. Aim time's pretty good, or okay. Dispersion's pretty shit, and it does have 10 degrees of gun depression. Speed, very crap. The speed is absolutely awful on this tank. And even the armor. The armor used to be what this tank is about. It never used to be about the penetration. It used to always all be about the armor. Your turret armor and your hull armor is 80. Now, looking at your standard, on your Panzer III, you have 102 penetration. So you're going to get penned all day long. You're going to get penned all day long. The only time that tanks are going to struggle is when you're top tier, as you can see, because Tier 2 doesn't have premium ammunition. So they will struggle. But when you're bottom tier, I mean, against Tier 4s, not only are you not going to be able to penetrate any Tier 4, anyone is going to be able to penetrate you. So this is now just the most pointless tank in the entire game. I mean, the Light Vic I thought was poor, and the T7 car was poor, but this, at least they've got speed. At least they've got speed. This, you have absolutely nothing, and it is totally pointless. It is the most pointless tank in the game, and it should just be deleted, because what's the point? Who's going to play this thing? Who's going to play it? Because it's shocking. It's shockingly shit. Now, you have the 8 shell burst that does 7 alpha. If you only pen 2 of those, you're doing 14 damage every magazine. Like, what is the point? What is the point? And we're just going to show you a couple of games just to show you how bad this tank actually is. So this is the first game, and both games were actually top tier, and I wanted to have top tier games. I didn't want to be bottom tier because, well, in a way I did. Kieran, come here. And just before I get started, hopefully Kieran does it, but I've taught Kieran a new word, and he's known it for a while now. Literally, he asked what it was, and I told him, and ever since, he has remembered what it is. Kieran, what's this? What's that?
Tank.
Yes, there we go. He's learnt tank. So he knows what a tank is now. Maybe in a few years he'll be playing. Who knows? So back to the game. Panzer 2J. As I've said, it used to be a fun tank. It really did used to be a fun tank. But now, I mean, we're going to come up. Look at this. That's a tier 2. We have to switch to Pramo to pen its side. There's a BT2, which we was looking at. Yes, I mean, just look how red it is. That tank, again, those are the 3 tier 2s in the game. The rest are tier 3s. So you're going to know, you're going to understand how, look at this. The Panzer 3, I can pen its side, and there we go. There's my whole magazine, and I do 14 damage. We're now up to 88 damage. Yes, we've blocked 160, but you are going to block. You are going to block shots. You are going to block shots in this tank, but you're just not going to block him all the time. I mean, tanks used to, back in the day, couldn't even pen the side of your tank in this thing. Now, anyone can pen you. I mean, look, this is a Chiha. None of these tanks have armor, apart from the Panzer 3s. They have a little bit of armor, but the rest of them, none of them have armor. But yet, just look, even with Pramo, we can only pen certain parts of the Chiha. I mean, some tier 4s you can HE the Chiha because it's just got no armor. Not with this thing. I mean, I wish this tank did have HE because at least you'd do some damage. So when this does come back for sale, it is now a collectible. If this does come back for sale, which hopefully is, it might be by the time I release this video, it might not be. So I'm not gonna say it's in stores because Wargaming does change their mind every now and again. And I really wanted to make this video. It's been such a long time that the Panzer 2J, as I've made a video on the Panzer 2J, that I didn't want to just wait for the tank to be released to make that video. I thought when playing it, when I heard it could be released, I started playing it, and I thought, you know what, I have to make a video on this thing because it's been so long and it's just now just shockingly shit. Look, I mean, 8 damage again. What's the point? What is the point playing this tank to do 300 damage? And that's actually a good battle. Kieran, that's actually a good battle. This M3 Light, I mean, he's a new TD, a new tank destroyer, and we're going to get wrecked. So we're not going to sit and watch it. These Panzer 3s are just going to absolutely rip us apart. So we're going to end the battle there. There's no point watching my guys get wrecked. It's a premium tank. It was a premium tank, but now it's a collectible tank. So you would expect to make credits. Oh no. Oh no, you don't. You lose credits every freaking game because of the amount of APCR that you have to shoot. Kieran, shh, play it on the floor. On the floor, not on table. On the floor. Apologies. So look, 72 shots fired, only 44 penned. 44 out of 72, and that's nothing. You wait until this game. We have a lot more. So look at that. We have, so there is 400 rounds. We've just got 331 APCR, a couple of AP, because you never know, you might be able to get the back of some tier 2s. But again, if you're up against tier 4s, sometimes you run out of APCR, which I used to load 200 of each. And I used to always run out of gold. So now, I mean, Pantoof streamed the other day, and he played this, and he doesn't have any AP. It's all APCR, and that is what you have to do in this tank. There we go again. Look, a whole magazine, and we do 13 damage. A whole 13 damage, and it's 0.1 second in between each, not 2 seconds. I don't know what I was saying. 0.1 seconds between each shell, and you have what, just over a 5-second magazine reload. So that part isn't bad. That part really isn't bad. It's just the penetration on this thing. Along with that, you no longer have great armor. You don't have speed. So none of that. At least give it one thing. Like give it more. Either give it more armor or give it more penetration. I would say give it more penetration. It doesn't need more armor. It definitely doesn't need more armor. Give it more penetration, because it just 23 on the AP. Come on, Wargaming, sort it out. It's just shocking. And considering your APCR is worse than almost any other tier 3's premium normal round, come on. It's just, I sold this tank. I sold this tank as soon as update 5.5 come, because it was just, I'm never going to play it. And whoever plays it, I'm just going to laugh at, because it's, nowadays, we used to play, back in them days, we used to play the Panther 2J for fun. Now, the only time we ever play the Panther 2J is if you lot are evil enough to request it in a stream, just like we did to Pantooth the other day. Oh my god, we've just got a 60. We've just got 60 in one magazine. Can you believe we just got 60? But that is a Cruiser 3. A tier 2 tank with no armor, and we are struggling. Look at the Redditors. We are struggling to pen its rear. Maybe he is moving, so it doesn't help that he is moving. Again, Chiha, no armor. We have to switch to freaking APCR to penetrate the side of this tank. Just, it makes me laugh. I'm not angry. It just makes me laugh, because it's just funny how shockingly bad this tank is. And if it does come for sale, I God for hope it will be cheap. It should be cheap. If this is expensive, I mean, what, on PC, if I remember correctly, this is like the most expensive tank, or it was the most expensive tank, because it was really broken. I don't really watch PC, but I vaguely remember something about this being like a £100 tank or something like that. Wow, if this come for £100 in Blitz, just like the Shinobi, I'm just gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh at Wargaming and just think you are absolutely crazy. It is a rare tank nowadays. It is a rare tank, and every time I have gone down tiers, just for fun or anything, I very rarely ever see this tank. And in fact, I never see it. I never ever see this tank. Just look, we can't penetrate him. Again, 13 damage, that's our game. We've had an amazing game. We've blocked 365, so we blocked quite a bit, and we end up on 545 damage. And we do lose credits. Of course, we're going to lose 31,000 credits. Yay! Luckily, I've got over 100 million, so I'm not too bothered. So that is the Panther 2J, guys. The most pointless tank in the entire game. Don't get it. It's not worth it. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye. With